Hey everyone, I'm super pumped to be here today to celebrate your commencement from one of the best universities in the world. Honestly, I'm kind of honored to be standing here because, fun fact, I never graduated from college. This right here, this moment, it's about as close as I've ever gotten to a graduation. So let's dive in. I'll keep it simple. I'm going to tell you three stories. No big speeches, no fancy words, just three stories from my life. Story 1. Dropping out and trusting my gut. Okay, so I dropped out of Reed College after 6 months. Yeah, I know, not exactly the typical college experience, right? But here's the thing. Before I was even born, things were a bit complicated. My biological mom was a young college graduate student, and she put me up for adoption. The plan was for me to be adopted by some fancy lawyer and his wife. But, plot twist, they took one look at me and decided they wanted a girl instead. So my parents, who were on a waiting list, got a call in the middle of the night. "Hey, we have a baby boy. You want him?" And they said, "Sure." Now, I know what you're thinking. Wow, that sounds like the beginning of a movie. But the real twist comes later. My biological mom found out my adopted parents hadn't even finished college. She wasn't happy about it and refused to sign the adoption papers. Finally, after some convincing, she agreed, but only if I promised to go to college one day. Fast forward 17 years, I'm in college, but I wasn't feeling it. The place was way too expensive, and I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. So, guess what? I dropped out. I was terrified, but also I had a strong feeling that it would be okay. That moment was one of the best decisions I ever made. I could now skip the boring classes and take whatever caught my eye, and that's when I found something that changed everything, a calligraphy class. Yeah, weird, right? But it was beautiful, artistic, and totally out of left field. Fast forward 10 years, when we were designing the first Macintosh, I realized that the gorgeous typography we created, it was all because of that calligraphy class. I never saw it coming back then, but those dots, they connected. Here's the big lesson. You can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backward. So trust your gut. Trust the process. Even when things don't make sense now, they'll add up later. Story 2. Love, loss, and starting over. All right, moving on. This one's about love and loss. When I was 20, I teamed up with Woz to create Apple. It was just us, a garage, and a dream. 10 years later, Apple was a $2 billion company. We had just launched the Macintosh, and I was 30. Life was good. But then, I got fired. Yeah, you heard that right. The guy who founded the company got kicked out. How does that even happen? Here's how. As we grew, we hired someone who seemed really talented to help run the company. Things were great for a while, but our visions started to clash. And, well, the board sided with him. So, at 30, I was out. It was rough. I felt like I'd let everyone down. But here's the crazy part. I still loved what I did. I wasn't ready to give up. So I started over. I launched Next, Pixar, and even fell in love with an incredible woman who became my wife. And guess what? Pixar went on to make Toy Story, the first full-length computer-animated movie. Apple ended up buying Next, I returned to Apple, and the tech we developed at Next became a huge part of Apple's resurgence. If I hadn't been fired, none of this would have happened. Sometimes you get kicked in the face by life, but it doesn't mean it's the end. It could be the beginning of something even better. Story 3. Death, the ultimate game changer. Now, this one's a bit heavy, but stick with me. I want to talk about death. When I was 17, I read a quote that stuck with me. If you live each day as if it were your last, someday you'll be right. That hit me hard. So, for the last 33 years, I've woken up and asked myself, if today were my last day, would I want to do what I'm about to do? And if the answer was no, I knew I needed to change something. Fast forward a few years, I was diagnosed with cancer. The doctors told me I only had months to live. It was scary as heck. But after surgery, I found out it wasn't as bad as they thought. I survived, and I'm here, talking to you. Here's the thing. Death is a tough topic, but it's the one thing that makes life precious. It clears out the old to make room for the new. And if anything, it reminds us that our time here is limited. So don't waste it. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own voice. And one more thing I want to leave you with. Stay hungry. Stay foolish. The world is out there waiting for you, so go for it. Thank you.